Wow, 2020, what a year. I'm a key worker, so obviously things changed in March. I'd got a really good work-life balance and I thought I was doing quite well with my health journey. And then we went into COVID mode and lockdown, and then things all changed. Key worker, my area of work changed, my lifestyle changed. I had so many more hours at work, and therefore my health did take a back seat. With the Hounds of Health classes still going online twice a week, that actually kept me some focus, and that was the only normal thing that I'd had pre-lockdown, pre-COVID. Everything else was completely in a tailspin. So it was really different. It was really hard to work with to start with, but at least those 2 sessions a week actually kept me focused, and it was just some sense of normality to what I'd had before. Now that things have changed, we came out of the initial lockdown in March and we started doing the in-person classes. I was desperate to get back to the in-person classes because all the contact with people I'd had are at work, or I live on my own, so nobody. So it was just work or home. So it was desperate just to get some back on my health kick again, to try and get that, because I was aware that I was comfort eating. I wasn't doing as much exercise as I would normally do. I usually cycle to work, and during lockdown I didn't, because it actually got quite eerie, because in actual full lockdown there weren't many people about on the streets at all, and cycling, particularly across Hammersmith Bridge when it was closed to traffic but open to pedestrians, it was quite eerie coming back from work. So I started driving to work, so I wasn't even getting the exercise of cycling to work. So anyway, things have gradually changed as we've come out of the original lockdown. We've gone into the different modes that we have done, and therefore it's enabled me now to sort of get back into focus. So in-person classes I was delighted to do because it's people not work related. It's also something for me to do for me. It's a good community to do it, and it's a tool that I can use that then eventually starts me doing exercise other than the 2 classes that I do a week as well, because I'd sort of, as I said, I've got in a tailspin and I wasn't really doing a great deal. I wasn't eating so great, and then gradually I've now picked that up. Having done the Level Up programme, that's really got me back on track. I'm a lot more enthusiastic about exercise. I've started running again, because I've a lot of runs that I have had cancelled this year, and have all been rolled over to next year. So I'll be very fit or I'll be injured. But yeah, I'm sort of going on the fitness route then. Yeah, I've still got my classes, still got the out of hours or out of class health thing. I'm eating better, I plan better. As soon as you started the Level Up, I was like, right, this is what I've got to do. I mean, I said I'm all over this shizzle, so I planned ahead. Planned ahead, did it, did the shopping, did the exercises, really enjoyed it, and it actually gave me some focus.
The thing is about the lockdown is you were a client beforehand, and you'd made really good progress, certainly in the initial stages. And then what you started to evolve into is someone who is incredibly consistent. I think you barely missed a session. The only time you ever missed sessions were when you were on holiday, and that was, we allow that. But there was a lot of people who were really, I mean, you said that you were slightly off kilter when we went into COVID, and obviously it led to some comfort eating and things like that. But a lot of people just completely gave up. So what stopped you completely giving up? I mean, what had you established before lockdown that gave you the state of mind or the stability, or whatever you want to kind of interpret it as, to continue to focus on your health in some way, even if it was not as much as it was before?
It was just the fact that there were regular classes that I was doing beforehand, and because everything else was so different, it was the only thing that was normal that I could still cling to, that was good for me, was good for me mentally as well as physically, and it just sort of I don't know, it just sort of held me grounded, really. And that's it. It was just because it's a habit I'd got into doing the classes, and okay, yeah, I was doing the exercise at home, but it was still the same trainers, still similar exercises, and it just sort of kept me, on the straight and narrow, really.
Great. So, I mean, your journeys, we were saying just before we started this recording that you've been with us 3 years. And a lot of people, they sign up for our 28-day program. They want to see fast results. And we obviously want to get results for people. And you saw results in the initial 28-day program that you did.
Yeah.
But what kind of, I mean, have you achieved your goals? I mean, if we cast our mind back to when you first signed up, have you achieved your goals? And then where are you now? Where is your mind at going forwards?
Gosh. So the original goal and why I joined was because I was running already. I hadn't yet done a half marathon. And I had the strength to run and I was training, but I was aware that I needed to have much more core strength. And you promoted the core strength as well as sort of general fitness. I didn't realise till I started you have a lot of diet focus as well, which also then was a massive boost as well, because a lot of gyms you can go to, you can join, and they just focus on exercise. They don't even discuss diet or general well-being in any other way whatsoever. So yes, I've now done, I don't know, about 9 or 10 half marathons in 3 years. So, and I've got more next year. So yes, I've achieved that goal big time. And then obviously your goals change. Once you've achieved one, then it's kind of what next? Because I didn't realise what I was capable of. I'm fitter now than I have ever been before, even in my teens, my 20s, even though I thought I was active. I don't know, your goal just keeps on moving. You achieve one thing and then it's what next? I mean, you kind of plateau for a while. You allow yourself to plateau because, yeah, you've achieved that goal and you can sort of dwell on it. But then it's kind of like, what next? What can I do next? What am I able to do next?
That's it. You've kind of removed a lot of the ceiling of what you thought was your potential. You are incredibly strong. You are really, really consistent, which is like a superpower. You know, a lot of people struggle with consistency. And I remember you coming and doing a half marathon and then doing your training session the following night. That is a tough thing to do. But it's a great indication of the fact that you were really healthy, because healthy people can do that. Fit people can do the race, but they probably wouldn't be able to go up the next day. And so it's a really, really massive thing. And that's why, obviously, with COVID knocking you out of whack, I can see that determination in you. Even though you weren't quite within your groove, you were just trying to search to kind of return to what you knew worked for you. And you've always kind of taken our advice and run with it and really applied it. Yeah. You are strong, you're really enduring, and you're really coachable. And that makes a really strong combination. And I love the fact that you've talked about, I'm fitter now than I was many, many years ago. You know, when we're typically seen past the age of 30, we say we want to downward slope. Yeah, yeah. It doesn't have to be that way, does it?
Oh, God, no.
You know,
no, not at all.
Well, that's it. I mean, we've all got friends who kind of keep saying, well, I'm too old for that and too old for that. And then, you know, you're going out there and smashing it, and you did a 10K PB recently. You know? Yeah.
And see, that'll be my next goal, is a sub 2 hour half marathon. And I've got, I think, about 6 or so to go next year. So I've got plenty of cracks at it.
Brilliant. I think we'll get there. We're going to get there.
Yeah.
So I suppose, what piece of advice would you give someone who was looking to not only join our 28-day program, but also someone who's looking to achieve their goals?
Listen, join, listen, apply yourself. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Enjoy it as well. I mean, you've got to kind of embrace the change, because we all think we've done exercise classes before. Well, we may have. And, you know, it is different, because it's not just your routine of, you know, when we used to do step classes or aerobics and things like that. It's just something to keep you going. But mainly, it is enjoyable. It's doable. It's not difficult to do. It applies a bit of focus and a bit of organising, but it's not hard. And when you see the results, it kind of motivates you to keep going.
Well, I mean, you're a great case in point for someone who's having a huge amount of responsibility on the shop, last minute notice, and still showing up twice a week. You know, this idea that we don't have time.
Well, yeah, you have to make time.
Great.
You know, you have to make time to do things. And it's amazing how much time you can faff about on Facebook and doing nothing in particular, you know, but you just say, right, this hour is the class that I'm going to be at. And you do it.
That's the simplest way of putting it. You say, I put it in the diary, and then you do it.
Yeah.
And that's incredibly hard. But that's, I mean, I suppose my final question is, well, why would you do it? Why are you doing it?
Why am I doing it? Because, well, I enjoy it. It's making me fitter. It's making me, well, it's made me so much more healthy. It's made me way more stronger than I thought I would ever be. I eat better. I thought I ate well before, but I eat so much better now. You know, it's consistent with training. I've learned so much about eating in relation to training.
As your recent Level Up results show, you've become incredibly strong. And it's exciting to see what you can do with this.
It's really surprising as well from the Level Up.
Right.
It was, you know, it was an amazing thing to do. It's really interesting. But yeah, because when I look back at what we did in the first week and then what we did in the last week, even though it was only 8 weeks, it's amazing the difference.